Hiya, welcome back to Budgeting Beans. My name is Emily and today I'm doing my bullet journal spread for November. So I'm just gonna go straight to it. This was my October spread. I never showed it and you can see I've damaged it. But I was quite pleased with this spread. It's just the one page because it is pretty much the end of October. I made it on the 22nd, this spread, I think I did it on the 22nd, today's the 25th, and yeah, almost the end of the month. But I wanted to do it just to get myself in the mood. And this was initially what I was doing on the November spread. However, I've decided I don't like it. I didn't get very far into it either, but I've decided I don't like it. And I'm just going to ignore this page entirely. And I'm going to move on to using this as my primary, as like the opening spread for November. My original theme was water, and I was basing this off of a painting that my great aunt did, but I wanted to do it like really late evening, basically nighttime, because I wanted it to be quite a moody theme, because November feels quite moody to me, but I didn't like it, so I've decided to scrap it. And I'm now doing, I found this image online and I've cut it out to fit what I want, but this is what I've gone for. Just various pictures just from Pinterest. I've not taken these, they're far beyond my capabilities, but that is what I'm going with. And yeah, so I'm just gonna get to it and hope you enjoy. Hello, this is VoiceOver Emily, and as you can see there's some bleed through on the previous side of the page for this spread. So I've used some craft paper from just Hobbycraft and I've covered it up, wanted to secure the edges. I kept seeing this was a popular trend on Pinterest for a lot of bullet journalers, so I thought I'd give it a shot myself. Not something I've ever done before, but here we are. And so I've stuck that down and I've pre-made my calendar spread and I've printed off a couple images I wanted to include in this spread, particularly the rainier ones. It helped enhance the moodiness. And yeah, here you can see I'm making some squares with the craft paper because I wanted to have 4 of them with this background, and I'll cut through the other 4. There we are. Just for my trackers for the month. I was debating putting at the top a trackers header, but ultimately I decided against it. And yeah, so at the moment just making all the little boxes, and you'll see me sticking down all 4 squares. And if you see in the corner, I've also made up, what are they? Calendar square things? I don't know, the grids. I'm drawing them at the moment. I've made some of those on separate piece of paper to go with the parchmenty craft paper, and that just gives it the vibes I was going for. There wasn't any particular inspiration for this page. I just kind of saw a bunch on Pinterest, and just went with it. Yeah, see, I'm gluing down all the squares now. I really don't know what to do with this voiceover. It's very odd. Those are the squares I was on about, just gluing those down, and I'm going to write in all the headers. However, I didn't think that part through too much, and I covered up 3 of the headers. 3? Yeah, 3 of the headers I covered up, and I forgot what they were, so you won't see them on there, but I can check what they were. Hold on. Because obviously I've finished this now. So I forgot to fill in for the hair, the work, and the baking habit trackers. That was my own mistake, and yep, you'll see. Oh, did I miss it? Okay, I also didn't put in, oh, there we go, 5 a.m. wake up. Yeah, so moving on to the November savings, because I do primarily use this channel for budgeting. It's also a primary piece of my bullet journal. So I keep track of all my favourite savings challenges, and on the opposite side I'll put my work schedule. They just feel linked to me because obviously you don't get paid without your job. And I have no idea where this spread came from. I found it somewhere and I remembered it, and since then it's been gone. I've made a few changes here and there, such as the payday section. I've never done that before, but I thought I'd keep track of what I'm adding towards my pension, what I'm getting paid, my estimate, my actual, what I pay in tax, just to keep me on track. I've also decided to go against doing the weekly spreads, which you'll hear me talk about later, and so instead I've done a running tracker because that is something I use the weekly trackers for. So at the bottom of the page I've got the keep track of things, the dates, the distances, times, and then in the top corner, which I'm doing the parchment for now, is to keep track of my personal bests, what my goals are. I got quite carried away with the parchment paper. I thought it was quite fun, so I kept doing it. Here you can see me testing different pens to do my little lines. And yeah, it's quite weird. Yeah, so goodbye November. That was probably the newest thing I've ever done. I've not really done end of month pages. I'll do them here and there, but not as a consistent thing. And this was the first time I went really in depth, so I've done another parchment paper music box. I wanted to keep track of what my favourite song was. I thought it was quite cool to look back on. But I've also made a tracker to see like the mental health aspect of things. I'll explain it more later, as well as keep track of my Instagram and YouTube milestones, you could say, like subscribers, followers, etc., as well as my top 3 watches at, say, the cinema, which I think that's what it's going to be this November, just because I plan to go to the cinema a couple times. And then favourite moments is just for anything else. If I've enjoyed something particularly, or if there's a really good run, that's just what that's for. And I kept going with the blue lines. I very much enjoyed doing the blue lines. I very much wanted that moody water theme. Okay, so this is my final spread for November. I will fill in like the rest of it later. Actually, no, it's not the final thing. I'm just going to do one last thing. Okay, there we go. So that is it for this video. I've completed the November spread as much as I can. I will fill in like general details such as like when I'm working. Oh, that's what one of these was. I can't remember what these 3 were, so when I've finished this video I'm going to go back on it just to write in, because it's written underneath the paper. Going to go in and write those. Fill in my November savings, my work schedule, because I'll be starting that on Friday. Saying that, what this video, oh yeah, this video is going up before then, but these are what I felt I would need for this month. The theme was moody forestry or moody rain, not entirely sure what, just moody. I had to use I'm not sure what this is, like craft paper. It was a wrapping paper that I bought, but I needed to use that to cover up the water damage, I suppose, from this. You can see it happened over here. I used the paper to cover that up and provide a little bit more reinforcement because the paper was weakened due to the water. But this is what I wanted. I did not do any weekly spreads like I normally do, just because I found I didn't really use them. So if I go back to August, yeah, so I filled it all out, but I didn't really use it past the 7th. So I didn't fill in any of this. I did write in all of this. This is when I initially made it up. Again, these, I wrote them in, but I didn't really use them. Yeah, I didn't really use any of that. Completely skipped September, went straight to October, which I didn't do till recently. So, weekly spreads, not necessary for me. I've got my trackers to keep track of what I do when I do them. With more in-depth ones such as the work schedule to keep track of how many hours I've done, and I've even got down here a rough estimate on pay and all of that. Then I've got a running tracker because I want to try and keep track of that a bit better. I want to know what my current personal bests are. I want to know if there's any events I have coming up. But I also want to be able to keep track of when I've run, the distance I've run, the time it took me to run, and if it was a race or otherwise. And then this is just for my goals for the month, which I haven't actually set yet, but I will do at some point. And then Goodbye November, this is one I found on Instagram. I've edited it a bit to fit me better, but I think it's a good thing. I don't know what the word is. Combination of all the things I've seen, I suppose. So I've got favourite music, top 3 watches. I think I'm going to go to the movies a couple times in November, which is what prompted this. I saw a ratings thing, on one of them, and it's the intent is that you do a line up to rating it out of 1 to 10 as how you feel you've done in that month. So if I feel I've done quite well, I could say I've rated number 9 for fitness, but if I don't feel my mental health has been the best, I could rate that, say, a 3 or a 4, and you get the gist. Then I've got an Instagram and YouTube tracker because I do like keeping track of such things. So that could be like what it is at the beginning of the month versus end, or what it is at the end of the month and what the progress from the beginning of the month is, etc. And then just down here is just favourite moments. So I've got 4 sections where I could list like what I feel went well, what I think could have been better, but like just notes generally. Just what I think was nice, self-explanatory. And that is it for this spread. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!